Well, a federal judge in Texas last night struck down the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, as unconstitutional. The stunning ruling came on the eve of the close of enrollment for 2019. The decision threatens future health insurance coverage for millions of Americans. And as Kenneth Craig reports, this is likely headed to the Supreme Court.
The pathway for the legal challenge was set in motion nearly a year ago when President Trump signed the tax overhaul bill into law. One part of that legislation eliminated the tax penalty known as the individual mandate for anyone who does not have health insurance. Earlier this year, 19 Republican attorneys general and one Republican governor filed a lawsuit arguing without a tax and no penalty, the entire law cannot be enforced and is unconstitutional. In a 55-page ruling, District Judge Reed O'Connor agreed, writing the penalty can no longer be fairly read as an exercise of Congress's tax power. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, who initiated the lawsuit, traced his argument back to a ruling made by the Supreme Court in 2012.
We believe from the very beginning it was unconstitutional, and we think the judge did the right thing.
President Trump campaigned on repealing Obamacare and applauded the decision on Twitter, calling it great news for America. But the major ruling leaves the health care of 20 million Americans in limbo.
Well, it was a big ruling. It's a great ruling for our country. We'll be able to get great health care. We'll sit down with the Democrats if the Supreme Court upholds.
There's no change in the law today. There's no change in the law tomorrow.
Legal analyst Jessica Levinson says the ACA will remain as is until the case goes through the appeals process.
The Fifth Circuit, which is the Court of Appeals in the Texas district where this decision was made, will hear the decision, and then I think very likely it will be appealed to the Supreme Court.
President Obama signed the landmark legislation into law in 2010. If it is found unconstitutional by the conservative-leaning Supreme Court, insurers would no longer have to cover young adults up to 26 years old under their parents' plans. There would be no cap on out-of-pocket costs, and insurers would no longer be required to cover pre-existing conditions, which impacts 133 million Americans.
The judge who made this ruling, Judge Reed O'Connor, was appointed by President George W. Bush and is described as a conservative. He's also blocked other Obama-era policies, Rena.
Okay, we'll see what happens in the Fifth Circuit. Thank you very much.